Welcome back, everyone, to another Eat Speed podcast, the most delicious podcast in the Metroplex. I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.
The readers of the Star Telegram have spoken. I feel like this is the finals of American Idol. We have a champion. We started our Reader's Choice with brunches a few weeks ago, and Star Telegram readers have just finished voting their Reader's Choice favorite restaurant for fried chicken. So it's no coincidence that our guests today are Joey and Tiffany Vineyard from Babe's Chicken Dinner House. Welcome, Joey and Tiffany.
How you doing?
Thank you.
The readers love Babe's. Babe's was a big winner. I don't really think that's a big surprise. For one thing, there's 10 different cities where people are voting for Babe's because Babe's has 10 locations around North Texas. It's been named in Southern Living magazine as one of the 5 best fried chicken restaurants in America. And Star Telegram readers agree that Babe's is their favorite fried chicken. Joey, Tiffany, you're the new generation of Vineyards, owners of Babe's. Give us just a couple of minutes on how you feel about winning this. I know you've won a lot of prizes over the years.
Well, yeah, sure. Well, we're extremely pleased, very proud, and very thankful that this has happened, and pleased to be awarded this.
Yeah.
It's really great. It takes a lot of people to get it done. We got several hundred wonderful people in our kitchens around the company who do all that hard work each and every day, making sure it's perfect when it comes out to the customer. And it's really on them that this belongs, that hard work that they do. So we're really proud to be here and be part of that.
Did people tell you at all, I'm going to vote for you? Or did anybody even, mention that they were picking you for best chicken?
I've never heard anybody that was voting for us. Yeah, but we're glad that they did.
Yeah. We know we got a lot of good loyal customers, and so we're very happy with that. And
a lot of good customers and a lot of good Star Telegram readers too.
Yes,
and we're grateful. Of course, Babe started in Roanoke and got off the ground in 1993. I wrote a little bit about it in the food column in 1993. That was a much younger Bud Kennedy back then, and also quite a bit thinner. But I wrote about Babe's, and then Pat Riddle picked up and wrote about it and did a whole profile of Paul and Babe in the Northeast Extra. And so people took to the Roanoke location in 1993, and Babe's has continued to grow since then. It's it's not just a Tarrant County restaurant, but I think with the big locations in North Richland Hills and Arlington and the flagship in Roanoke, I think it is more of a Tarrant County tradition. People love Babe's. You've got Babe's in all corners of the Metroplex.
Yes, sir.
I did.
Yeah, no, that's like our own county seat for Babe's. Would be that part of Texas. So absolutely.
This is Babe's country. We want to talk about some of the other restaurants that people voted for. They were real, because I'm really thrilled that people loved these small operators too, and the small entrepreneurs. Drew's Place in Fort Worth on Horn and Camp Bowie, which has always been considered the best place for a fried chicken, soul food, smothered chicken, smothered pork chops. The fried chicken at Drew's is still, kind of considered the best in town. And then people loved the Jesus Family Restaurant on South Main. Jesus Borjas has been there. He's in his 90s, I think. And, he's been there since the 70s. And mainly he's known for great enchiladas and Tex-Mex, but he's one of the few places you can get good Mexican food and good fried chicken. So Drew's and Jesus, really had their own little following, and I'm proud of both those. But I think that the difference is that everybody all over the Star Telegram readership area has been to Babe's. Not all of them have had fried chicken. So, talk about how Babe started with fried chicken and then has kind of branched out. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, you bet. Back when I started in Roanoke in 93, our mom and dad served just fried chicken. So when you came in, there was no menu. There was nothing to order except your drink.
Steve, do you have that photo of a small order of fried chicken you could put up again?
Yeah.
There it is.
So everybody that came in back then, they got chicken. If you wanted chicken, you got it. If you didn't, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
And then not long after the Star Telegram articles came out and things really lifted up, then there was a lot of people asking for chicken fried steak. So then mom and dad, I guess about a year into it or so, doubled the menu. and had a chicken fried steak. And so then you came in, and still you just had one choice. That was either chicken or chicken fried steak.
Yep.
And it stayed that way for quite a while.
Did you have all these
It came-
sides that that you
Came with
that
corn
come with it and everything?
corn
Yes.
and mashed potatoes and a salad with a buttermilk ranch dressing. Is that what you call it?
Oh no, our salad, it's really more of a sweet vinaigrette. It's a home
Sweet
style.
vinaigrette. That's
Sweet
right.
vinaigrette,
Okay.
Yeah.
Very simple, but very refreshing, I think.
Mhm.
And very
Yeah.
tasty.
And now you just choose your protein. You go there and you go like,
Yep.
okay, just that's all you
Yeah,
have to
now-
worry about is what you're going to get.
Yeah, and even in the new locations that have more of an expanded menu where we have smoked chicken and catfish and chicken tenders, it's still the same simplicity comes with it, though. You just come in and pick your meat and your drink and head on down the road with it. And you can get a dessert. And we're about Roanoke. We still don't do desserts
Yeah.
there.
And
don't
a
have
lot-
the size for it, actually.
And a lot of it's family style. So you come in and
Absolutely.
you get a big platter and everybody shares. Babes and Joe T's are the famous restaurants where things are served family style. I think you've
That's
stuck
right.
with that.
Absolutely.
Yes,
People
we
just
love
love
it.
it. And it's, the families like it, but what is fun to hear is with the business groups that come together and then extended family that come together, different groups that love to have that kind of interaction that you don't get to go to many restaurants and have that like you would at your own house. And it's a lot of fun to be able to serve people that way and have that kind of atmosphere. So we
Now
love it.
what I didn't know, and I know that I've talked to Paul a few times, but I knew he started Bubba's in Highland Park in 1982. That's over there, Dallas, a lot more southern town. Fort Worth is a western town.
That's
And
right.
so he started Bubba's over there for all the southern fried chicken folks that if they couldn't get to Highland Park cafeteria, they could come to Bubba's.
Yeah, it's right over there across from SMU. And
Yeah.
yes, since that time. And actually, we worked there as kids
Yep.
back then. So
Back and he started that in 1982. I didn't know that he was involved with all the Tex-Mex restaurants. He'd been president of El Chico,
yes, sir.
co-founder of Casa Bonita and Taco Bueno, and so he was. And actually, even the neon chicken on top of the Babes in Roanoke came from a Mexican restaurant. Do you know that story?
I believe it did. Yeah, I don't know which one it was, but yeah, we have lots of artifacts we dig up from different places and repurpose. And so you go to any of our locations, you'll find special signs that had a different life before we got a hold of them. So
Now see, I'm going to date you here. It came from El Gallito, which was on Ross Avenue. So the neon sign in Roanoke came from El Gallito. So now you all are kind of the new generation, and what's changed or evolved at Babes? How has Babes changed or updated, and what's going to change, or what's the next evolution?
Well, it's kind of interesting. We don't have a big desire to do things a lot differently because we really like where we are and where we've been. We have grown, and so just the difference between having one location, 2 or 3, and now we have 10 of the Babes, and then we have 2 of the Sweetie Pies Ribeyes, and we have 2 of the Bubba's locations. So inherently, that creates a different kind of business. So trying to do that in that scale, but yet still hit all the same points about having great food and fun service and a family atmosphere and big groups and do it all the way that we've done it successfully has a different kind of challenge than it did when it's 1 or 2 or 3 locations. And so that's kind of our focus right now and kind of slow, steady growth as it comes to us.
Haven't been to the ribeye place yet. I always see it when at the northeast store,
Northridge and Hills.
North Hills. Yeah.
It's not hard to sneak across the parking lot.
Yeah.
Joey and Tiffany, you should take a moment and plug Sweetie Pies and tell people what to get, because it's more than just ribeyes. And I think the desserts there, it's another whole great dessert menu. So tell people what to get at Sweetie Pies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. We it's our steak and seafood concept. So we have fillets, we have ribeye steaks. You can get hamburgers. We do a great steak salad. You can also get a wonderful seafood. I almost always get the blackened snapper when I'm there. I just can't get away from eating it.
With your lemon sole.
Lemon sole. We've got some fried fish dishes as well, and then the desserts. We have a gluten-free chocolate chip cookie, and it has a homemade salted caramel that we put on it, and a scoop of Bluebell ice cream, and it is so good.
But it's gluten-free, so it's really healthy.
Yeah. And then we have a chocolate crepe, and we have we call cowboy custard, and Seasonally, we do strawberry pie. So this summer, that will be
Fresh,
coming
yeah.
back out with the fresh strawberry pie.
Right now we're doing apple pie a la mode.
Yep, apple pie a la
Really
mode. We
good.
do a
It's my
pecan
favorite.
pie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, and you may not like this. I know people who go to Babes and have dinner and then go over to Sweetie Pies and have dessert.
No,
So.
that's good.
Hey. We're happy to
We like
have them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Again, our gue-
we're real proud
Jo-
of Sweetie Pies.
Joey and Tiffany Vineyard, our guests from Babes Chicken Dinner House. Steve, how many Babes have you been to, and what do you have when you go?
I've just been going to the. I originally went to Roanoke because that was the only one there, and it was chicken, and that's what I had. And now the North Hills version is the one I normally go to. And last couple of times it's been catfish. I've been kind of on a catfish craze there. It's really good.
And I usually meet friends from Dallas at the Arlington location because they don't even know there is a downtown Arlington, and they're thrilled to come to the Arlington location. Or we stop at the one in Burleson. You know, if we've been out of town for the weekend and we're driving back in from Austin and it's Sunday night, you know, I mean, we stop and get smoked chicken to go from the Burleson location and bring it on home. It's, you know, it's the best restaurant between Fort Worth and Georgetown, at least on I-35. You might as well come into Burleson and have dinner. What
Absolutely.
now? Paul is still around. Paul is the owner, and he's but he's kind of left the talking to y'all today. Tell us what Paul's best story is about Babes or starting up Babes, or about how he started in the chicken business.
Well, I can give you a story that I love that he tells about really making memories for our customers. When he was in Roanoke, or it may have been that he was in Garland, and he walked up to a gal and she was crying, and he thought, oh gosh.
At the table.
Yeah, she was at the table eating and
Over
crying.
the food, crying over the food. Yeah.
So he walked away and thought, well, what am I going to do? And so he just went ahead and went back. He said, can I help you? Is there something that we've done? What's wrong? And she said, she just stopped crying. She said, this corn reminds me of my grandmother. And I haven't thought of her in a long time. And this instantly, it just made me think of her. And for us, it's so important to us to have people come and eat our food and have these amazing memories come back and flood back into them of their grandmother or their mother or their aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of my favorite stories that he tells.
Yeah. And working in the restaurants, you know, as you do over time, I think most of us get to have that experience. I've had that happen to me in Carrollton. I got a call from our GM in Carrollton last week about a big old husky guy started crying at the table that he talked to, had the same exact experience. With him, it was the gravy. Reminded him of his grandmother.
Yeah.
And he hadn't had anything like it. And he was a big old man crying at the table.
Yeah.
You all have more of a pepper and pan dripping gravy than most places. It's not just paste out of a jar, and I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and so because our recipes, the way we cook, or the way that grandmothers have cooked for many, many years, many decades and longer, and that's kind of the key to it. It's really fun when we see that happening and people living back these loving memories coming back to them in the restaurants. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, I would say for people who have family members from the South, the biscuits with the Mississippi sorghum syrup are another real memory. You know, there are not any other restaurants here that make a big deal out of having sorghum syrup. That's a very Southern tradition, but that's another Babes tradition that really strikes memories.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you all, there's a lot of talk about fried chicken these days, but it's not about Southern fried chicken. It's about hot chicken and buffalo chicken and Nashville chicken and spicy chicken and who's got the spiciest filet. And, you know, do you feel left out of all the chicken talk, or do you feel like that you're the OGs?
Yeah, actually, that's probably right. I mean, we love it, and I love those kind of flavors also that we do ourselves, but we know what we do well, and that's kind of our roots. And, you know, it really goes to our grandmother, our dad's mother. And it's funny because our mom married our father, and she didn't really know how to cook, but it was her mother-in-law that taught her.
Yeah.
And she taught her that same way. Then it was our mother that ultimately developed all these recipes that everybody's eating now. at Bubba's and at Babe's and even some of the ones at Sweetie Pies as well. And so it kind of carries down for us. It's really through the generations, even within our own family. So therefore, our desire to go mess with it is very low.
Yeah.
We really like what we have in that respect.
And they were from Turkey on the edge of the Panhandle. The chicken fried steak definitely is, I would call it, a Northwest Texas style, like you see in that Wichita Falls Lubbock corridor. But were their predecessors from the South, or were their ancestors from the South, or where did those great recipes come from?
Well, a lot of it is West Texas roots for many years, but then not from Texas. Obviously, moved down here. Gosh, I don't have the history in my head well enough, but probably now 150 years ago.
Yeah,
honestly,
makes me think of Allen's Family Style Meals in Sweetwater, which is a great fried chicken. It's the best fried chicken between here and El Paso, probably. The great stop out there that's a family style fried chicken restaurant, great West Texas tradition. Steve, you have any other thoughts about fried chicken?
Well,
I guess we should just say, which piece do you reach for, Steve?
Well, I'm a leg guy. I like the legs and the thighs, dark meat. But I was always curious how y'all determine how much chicken I'm getting. If they kind of size you up and go like,
This guy needs 2 pieces or 4. Yeah.
Right.
we probably get ourselves in trouble if we try to do that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think there's anybody who doesn't get enough. I think everybody gets.
No, it's a plenty of chicken.
Yeah.
You and I could split a half chicken then, Steve. Yeah, I could take the breast of the wing. You can take the leg and the thigh, and we'd be in good shape. Wings. Tell me your favorite joke about wings and the fascination with wings. And people start whole restaurant companies just selling wings. I mean, what's up with that? See, the laughter's enough, I think.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Good for them. We're happy to be.
We're happy to be doing what we do.
It is fun to serve a half a chicken to everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody.
That
gets a choice.
presentation of all of the chicken on the platter is just, you bring that to a table and set it down, and you get oohs and ahs, and cameras are coming out. And and we love that part of it.
And Roanoke especially, you see it there a lot more because the menu's more limited. But that goes back to our dad, who was in the Mexican food business, and really the time he was there was when fajitas became a thing, and then they would just send platters of fajitas through a dining room and back to the kitchen just so they could get the orders going. Because once they went through the dining room, they would start ordering fajitas around the restaurant. And they're not the only ones that did that. But that big old platter of chicken has a lot of the same effect. It's a kind of a big wow. And we just love that. It's a lot of the fun.
Now, we talked about Nashville hot chicken. We talked about wings. Let's talk about one other trend and get you, because this is something you all have adapted to. Would you please identify exactly what is the tender?
What?
It's the breast meat.
The white meat,
That's the breast meat. Yeah.
Which is different from the what the fast food restaurants sell as tiny little chicken nuggets. We don't ever want to know what a chicken nugget is.
And ours are only cut straight from the meat. They're not a pressed combined product or anything like that. But you can do in some places don't do that.
And that's battered and sold the same way, and the tenders are the same kind of thrill, just without all the bones to work off.
Yeah. I think one of the things we like doing those, you get a lot of time, especially now, if you have the younger people that have never had anything but a chicken tender, talk them into having bone-in chicken, because it is a different experience. Yeah. And they usually really like it if you get them to do it. And I'm even talking about my own kids in that respect.
Did we talk smoked chicken yet?
Dig in, Steve, because that's good. I mean, I tell people Babes is underrated. On the barbecue side, people talk about who's got the best barbecue chicken, and they forget about, is it hickory smoked chicken at Babes?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And how do you all do that? Where is it done? And how's that developed as part of the menu?
Well, we do everything on site at each of the restaurants, but we have smokers installed, and so it goes through the same marination process as a fried chicken, and then we bring it out. We have a little seasoning that's ours that we make, and season it up, put it in, and it takes around 2.5 hours depending on the piece. We put it in at different pieces at a time, so that the little pieces go in last, the wings, the last one, the breasts go in first, and we put them in an order and then pull them all out about the same time from the cooking process, about 2.5 hours total. for all that. So we have these big, but they're big smokers where they slowly turn on the inside. Southern Pride is what most of them are. But that's really how it works.
And you just keep on feeding chickens into it during all day, kind of.
As much as we need to, we do those batches and we have it figured out for the day. And we're doing it all day. When we get to the weekends, it's about right.
So how much prep goes into like fried chicken for y'all?
Oh, well, for us, and it's chicken tenders and the bone-in chicken both. We do a marination process, it's a simple process, but it's really critical. But they get marinated in a brine, saltwater solution for 24 hours. At least, and then we do some rinsing, and we'll redo them in a lesser degree if it goes a little bit longer. But one of the keys to our management of the restaurants is making sure that we've got at least that 24 hours on it, but we don't get way too far on it. And so there's a kind of a magic window of that production to keep things going. That's really the key to it. Everything is as fresh as we can get it.
I mean, there's always like a really big line. You got the line outside, kind of, that you're waiting to get in, and then you got that hallway you go through, and you're getting closer. it's almost time to get seated.
Yeah, we don't want to torture people too much.
Do you ever run out of chicken? I mean,
no, not chicken. Every once in a while we'll run up some desserts, and that's okay. Sell everything we have. We make it, like I said, we make everything fresh, and so we're not pulling anything out from the day before. So we have to be really careful, or we'll waste a lot of food. But
so which pies do y'all have at Babes?
We have we have a lemon meringue pie, coconut meringue, chocolate meringue. We've got a pineapple upside down cake, a banana pudding, and a cherry cobbler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which goes first?
Banana pudding.
Banana pudding. Yeah.
Banana pudding is number one by far.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
It is. We grew up eating it and that and chocolate pie.
Mm-hmm. Which is another popular one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking with Joey and Tiffany Vineyard of Babe's Chicken Dinner House, winner of the Star Telegram Reader's Choice Poll for Best Fried Chicken. Our readers, you picked Babe's as a favorite. Steve was talking about the lines. When is the best time to come to Babe's? Is there a location where the lines are shorter, or is there a best time of the day or week to come? I always tell people to come like the morning after the 4th of July and things like that when people have been up late. But what are the best days?
Yeah, well, the early part of the week typically is the best day. We get busier Thursday through the weekend usually. And so any of the locations Monday through Wednesday, we're not nearly as busy as often. Just don't go to Sanger because we're closed on Mondays in Sanger. We have a little different hours up there. But really, yeah, getting away from those weekends if you really don't want to have to wait at all. But we work really hard to get people in as fast as we can. So hopefully they're not getting too frustrated.
We usually get there before y'all open, and about 30 minutes before y'all open to get in line. And then we're real close to the door when you open up, and we're pretty quick at that point. So that's
really good. Then. Yeah, we can take care of that. So, and we work really hard on our people, our managers, and our employees to keep things going so people don't have to wait too long. And everybody comes hungry, and so we got to feed them.
Steve, do you have any more questions?
No, I think, like I said, they're very well organized, moving you through. You when you go in the line and everything, there's a plan. You see them, they're like trading off. People are trading off, moving you around and stuff. And I like the tables are really big. They have all these big tables. It kind of reminds me of doing dim sum at a Chinese restaurant where you have the lazy Susan in the middle that you can spin the thing around. And I just love the home style, having it, where you got all these pieces of whatever you're getting, brought out. And it's just really good experience. I understand why you were picked as with our Reader's Choice.
I try to sit by the biscuits myself. I try to stick by the biscuits. All right. Well, thank you all. Joey, Tiffany Vineyard of Babe's Chicken Dinner House, 10 locations around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, including the flagship in Roanoke, large restaurants in Arlington and North Richland Hills and Burleson, winner of the Star Telegram Reader's Choice for Best Fried Chicken. We're going to do these polls again. We'll be back with more Reader's Choice polls, and we'll be back with more Eat Speak podcasts. Until next time, I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.